Paul Phoenix. When it comes to elongated, drawn-out strings to keep your opponent on lockdown, he's actually not that safe. He is, however, a comeback machine. I like to call this man the ballerina tank because of his ability to sway and evade an enemy's attack and to hit like the biggest mofo on the planet. Because of his popularity, beginners may struggle getting wins with him. Everyone and their mother has faced down a Paul Phoenix. But make no mistake, Paul has really great options and is considered worldwide to be one of the best characters in the game. And today, I'm going over a few strings and a couple of individual moves to get you started with this character or to add something to your game. I am Empire Endless, maker of the thing, speaker of the words, your humble herald throughout this guide. Now, let's get into this before Paul hops on his motorcycle and rides off into the sunset. Begin. Let's start with Lion's Roar, number 12 in Paul's move list. This entire string is down forward 1-1-2, but let's break this string down. Down forward 1 by itself is a mid attack, plus 4 on hit. And if you're going up against a button-happy opponent, you can definitely make them pay for pressing buttons with a variety of launching options after down forward 1 hits. Like back 3, up forward 3, and even down back 2 if your opponent isn't terribly familiar with frame data. Down forward 1 is safe on block at -2, which can grant you the ability to sidestep an opponent's linear attack and gives an opportunity to punish. Alright, now listen up, because here's a place where that special Phoenix ballet magic starts to come in. Down forward 1 is -2 on block. However, if you hold back after down forward 1, you'll perform number 13 in the moveset, Body Blow to Sway. And Paul goes from being -2 on block to +3, which is beautiful. Even better is Paul goes from being +4 on hit to +9. Kazuya got the burner. Oh wait, no he don't. You have access to a number of different moves from this sway, and I'll leave it up to you to experiment with the different attacks and setups here. Down forward 1-1 is +5 on normal hit and +8 if your opponent decides to press any of them their buttons after blocking down forward 1, and you keep the string going. Again, it's +8 on counter hit. Now the second punch is a hop and can be ducked, but only if the first punch is blocked, which leads us right back to the entire string. Full Lion's Roar. Down forward 1-1-2, your opponent has little time to perform a wild rising move to punish, though it is possible. They can also just junk punch, which makes Full Lion's Roar not perfectly safe, but relatively so, as Lion's Roar cannot be sidestepped left or right. I recommend using the first 2 hits as a check to your opponent. See what they do. Again, you'll be +5 on hit or +8 on counter hit. In implementing the full string, you get a knockdown. That gives a bevy of guaranteed follow-ups, such as Hammer of the Gods, move number 9 in the set, forward 1+2, Shoulder Tackle, number 10 on the move list, forward 1+4. Chainbreaker at number 11 with the input of forward 2+3. In the trickiest one of them, Phoenix Smasher, quarter circle forward 2, number 41 on the move list. Now, Phoenix Smasher is a tricky little number to execute. The damage is high, but don't feel bad going for an easier to execute option if you're a beginner with Paul. That beautiful Death Fist will be waiting for you whenever you get around to it. Full Lion's Roar starts at 14 frames and is -9 on block. Safe. It also wall splats. So again, if your opponent refuses to stop pressing buttons and you're near a wall, this string will wall splat them for some really great damage. Be careful of the second hit being a high. Again, Lion's Roar is a great move to use as a knowledge check to your opponent. How well do they know Paul? If they immediately upon you using this move, duck the second hit in Junk Punch or try to go for some wild rising launcher, chances are they know Paul pretty good, which is great information to know at the start of a match. Mixed with Paul's down forward 2, which I will call down forward 2 because it doesn't have an actual name in Paul's move list, nor does it have a move list number. This move, it will always be there, no matter what you do or where you go. This thing is like Bilbo Baggins, there and back again. It is constant, it is ubiquitous. The crush properties on this thing are ridiculous. I want to make this crucial point here. If you throw out down forward 2 and it is blocked at -8 by your opponent, your best bet may very well be to simply throw this move out again, because this move has some colossally awesome evasive crush properties. I can see why this move is unlisted, because this thing is like the dead hand initiative. Please use this move. Implement it into your game with Paul. Also, special note here, when it comes to this next move I'm about to present, an extreme caveat. I see people kind of spam this out with Paul, and I pride myself on giving you really good strings to use. But I had to at least bring this up and address this, because I see it so much. After, let's say, the first 2 hits of Lion's Roar is blocked, or any other string for that matter, and Paul's opponent goes to take their turn, that's when the Paul player will throw out this move. Shoulder Smash. Down 1+2, number 21 in Paul's moveset. This move is some weirdly highly evasive Mamma Jam, and comes out at a very nice 12 frames. After having your string blocked, there is a type of player who will immediately throw out Shoulder Smash. In a fair amount of time, hell, even a lot of time, you may find this move effective. The problem with this move is that it's -16 frames on block. Highly launch punisher. I cannot, in good conscience, recommend this move. But I did feel that I had to cover it, just in case you want to play with your life and you can't get to a casino. Shoulder Smash is your next best bet. This is definitely a YOLO move. Carpe diem. And if you want to seize the day, go right ahead. But be forewarned, the day may come back to haunt you, homie. If you find yourself addicted to this move or want to throw it out, it can be used as a round ender with an opponent low on health. They go to take their turn in blammo. Goodbye. Okay, the next string is Double Axe Swing. Back 1-2. Number 23 in the moveset. This is an outstanding 12-frame punisher. Tekken is a lot about punishment, and you can take that any way you want. This is where your opponent may attempt to knowledge check you, see how much they can get away with. This is where it's a good idea to study individual matchups between characters you keep coming across and purposely learn what moves of theirs are minus 12 on block. Because Double Axe Swing is tremendously powerful. It's a really good move to hit your opponent with. They get smacked into a ballerina spin, and Paul will be +8. Remember to use this move almost exclusively as a punisher, or sidestep stopper, because the first punch is homing. Back 1 has a startup of 12 frames, has some forward reach, and back 1 by itself is safe at -9 on block. So this can be used as a check out in space to see if you can catch your opponent whiffing or catch them pressing buttons. Now while the string back 1-2 is mega dope safe at -5 on block, so you may even get away with sidestepping an opponent at it. This string is however too high, so the second hit can be ducked and launched. So again, Empire Endless here, your homie. I recommend using Double Axe as a safe space closer and punisher on moves -12 on block. The next string is actually a single move, and when it comes to single hard-hitting attacks, Paul is cracked. Number 9 on the move list, Hammer of the Gods, forward 1+2. I briefly touched on this move earlier, but let's have a closer look at this knuckle sandwich. So Paul hits like a ballistic missile. He definitely has some one-hitter quitters in his arsenal. So I wanted to throw in a couple of big hitters that aren't necessarily combo related. Tekken content can be all about flashy combos, but there are annoying moves in the game that you can apply to pressure your opponents and take chunks of their life bar without doing any combos whatsoever. And Hammer of the Gods is one such move, a whopping +8 on hit. It also forces your opponent into crouch, which means they only have access to their Wild Rising moves and Junk Punch. If your opponent attempts any Wild Rising move higher than 11 frames, and you throw out Hammer of the Gods again, they'll be counter hit and splatted on the ground. That's the fear or atmosphere Hammer of the Gods creates. At +3 on block, Paul is left in an advantageous situation for himself. You can go straight into Lion's Roar after this. Or, if you think your opponent is afraid to press buttons, you can go into Hammer of the Gods again. The weakness normally of moves this powerful is that they are slow, which Hammer of the Gods is at 20 frames. And these moves tend to be steppable, and Hammer of the Gods is steppable both left and right. Apply this move thoughtfully. When you want to lock down your opponent and want to apply pressure after, don't be afraid to link together one or two moves that are safe after applying Hammer of the Gods. Also, if you land this move on counter hit, you can perform forward 4, Neutron Bomb, to quickly get all up in your opponent's grill, where you will be +2 on block and can go right into a combo on hit. Or you will be +1, or neutral, or -1. It all depends on the distance, because Tekken like to be all complicated like that. Also, if your opponent chooses to roll backwards, or roll left or right to get up, Neutron Bomb will whiff and place you in danger. This move also places Paul in crouch, while Rising 4 is a good safe option here. And lastly, we will cover another one-hitter quitter, number 15 in the moveset, down forward 4, the boot. Moves like this is why I started the series. Mid, safe. This bad boy is +9 on hit and only -1 on block, allowing you to sidestep and, let's just say, throw out a down forward 2 after your opponent throws out a linear attack. The boot knocks down on counter, which sets up advantageous situations for Paul, like the aforementioned 444. The boot doesn't have the fastest going startup at 19 frames, and is steppable left and right. Cautiously, while jockeying for space against your opponent, and you want to reach out and tag him with something safe, wouldn't hurt to throw out a down forward 2 after landing on normal hit, or go into Lion's Roar. Paul is not a string-heavy character. He's a hard-hitting, high combo damage, evasive, and safe type of dude. Use the list of moves here to add to what you already know of him, or use as a starter pack to build off of. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and keep in tune with the rhythm of the fight, because a good string is like a good song. No matter how many times you repeat it, it's just as good as it was the first time.